And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. So, Game 2 will be underway shortly. It is the Intel Extreme Masters Cologne. It is the semi-finals. Fnatic versus CJ Entus. And CJ Entus took Game 1 fairly convincingly, despite the fact 40 seconds into the game, Fnatic got first blood.
Yep, who expected that? I mean, after the first blood, I was like, wow, it's gonna be a real
You were walking out the studio and you're like, what? Someone just died?
To take some air, and then suddenly I listened to the claps and I was like, first blood?
Yeah,
really?
Already. And they got a very nice pincer maneuver on him there. And I just want to point out that the reasons why CJ Entus won this game are exactly the areas that we thought they looked a little bit shaky yesterday, which is the team play and the coordination. And that was just, not only was it spot on, it was clearly better than Fnatic's in this game. Yeah. And that is rare.
I'm just expecting some posts on any forum talking about that play, that they were ganking bottom and suddenly TF stopped Katarina teleport and then Jax stopped Sam.
Well, I mean, all 5 members of were involved in the fight, despite the fact they were at the top of the map, on the middle of the map.
And it was impressive.
It was a very impressive work.
That TF ultimate, showing where is Sen to Jax jump and stun, and showing where is Katarina to jump TF and stun. It was, wow. That was the play for me of that game. And we're gonna start.
Yeah, you hear that noise, that means the picks and bans are underway.
That's
and well, what are we expecting this time? You get him in quick early.
Yeah, I guess Fnatic is gonna ban Listen. I guess Fnatic is probably gonna ban TF as well. I'm not sure. He played really well, really convincible. And we get the first ban from CJ Entus, gonna be Oriana. Jax.
Ooh, Jax ban against the top laner, Long Panda. So I guess Long Panda not in agony here in Europe. He's actually doing a really good job. But as we actually discussed during the game, why don't they give Soa somebody he can carry with? Of course, Shen, great to be able to help teamfights across the map. But if you have a Jax who could jump in and counter strike you, it's not so useful.
It was mainly Sen. They picked Sen only to stop TF.
Yeah, and it didn't work.
TF ultimate, it didn't work because they were just better.
Katarina ban though from CJ Entus. That is of course a respect ban against Pekka's Katarina there. Why would you ban Nunu though? I mean, they ran a Nunu last game and
probably just Enrated said Nunu was really nice for bottom. They were just keep pushing and doing nothing else. So
push. No, I was quoting the Nunu bot skin, of course. Yes, and a Renga ban. I was not making fun of your accent this time. And a Renga ban.
I expect so much troll from you guys. So I don't know.
And Olaf.
It's been nice today.
Today just was like 30 minutes talking.
Guys, sorry to interrupt you there.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Listen first pick.
I expect that. I really expect that. We were talking about that. So I don't know. And then we expect the Cho'Gath Syra ban. Cho'Gath pick.
Do you think that a Nunu ban was worth it if they could have banned Lee Sin instead?
I think it was the Olaf ban.
The Olaf ban was wrong, okay.
I prefer to ban Listen. Now they're mainly picking like what they like. And I also want to point on one thing of this Daddy.
Daddy.
That guy yesterday was timing everything. I mean, he was timing all the summoner spells of CLG.
All the ultimates as well, right?
Ultimates and summoner spells.
That's insane.
Impressed me. I mean, how can someone has a head to time everything?
I remember
especially the 25-second looks ultimate.
Yeah. I remember you told Snoop about this, and Snoop just shook his head and said, Koreans.
Koreans. Asians. It's impressive.
It's really strong.
So we've seen Twisted Fate now. Do you think we're going to counter this with Diana this time? Ooh. No, we're not going to get Blitzcrank because we've already got that.
We can.
It could be Zyra.
He used to play Syra mid, and against Sona is a counter. Blitzcrank is a counter to Sona.
Yeah, because she's so squishy.
Yep.
There's nothing you can do once she gets pulled. And Enrated, by the way, his main 2 supports I spoke about
against
the
Sona, that's actually strong.
That's what he wants to play.
Syra and Leona.
That's a good pick. They're very good picks because Sona's such a slow-moving, easy target for Blitzcrank that Enrated can land it. He lands those Qs with Leona so often. He should be landing them rocket grabs. Could be Vayne to go up against it. Could try and tumble out the way of those things.
Yeah, Vayne is probably the with Ethereal the highest counter to Blitzcrank. And again, I don't like to see that.
Long Korean. You don't like to see a Korean unsinged.
He's my most hated champion.
Did you actually have nightmares after Shy?
No.
It's just tormented you guys on top lane?
No. I only have another kind of nightmares with of my casters trolling me. Not about players.
So the 2v1 all day long didn't feel any effects?
I don't know what you're talking about.
No,
You already
I'm
repressed
confused
that
right now.
memory. I
I'm
like
confused.
it. Last pick for Fnatic now. It's going to be probably the top lane. I assume that Cho'Gath is going to go into the jungle, of course.
I hope something like Syra comes out.
Something like what?
Sorry, Kha'Zix. Not Syra.
Kha'Zix,
Sorry.
Kha'Zix, Jace, Elise. I don't know. Something is a prize or so.
Yeah, it's something against Singe. That can counter Singe. It's probably Irelia or Kha'Zix.
And he can't run the. Oh, there's the
There you
Kha'Zix.
go.
Nice answer.
I have to say, in the moment he picked Kha'Zix, Lee almost stand up and was yelling for the Kha'Zix.
See, Freak gets excited about Teemo, I get excited about Kha'Zix.
To each his own.
It's absolutely fantastic champion, but against the Singe, jumping on a Singe with a trail coming and he's just going to flip you in it. Still good.
Has a lot of damage with the Q. But I think it was Freak who made the Teemo face to the cameras.
I'm not sure what you could do with the Kha'Zix
He
face.
can fake Demon to do the Kha'Zix face to the cameras on the next.
I don't even know how we do a Kha'Zix face. He's an alien.
You have to try it.
Just be an alien.
Just
be an alien, man.
I need to extend my nose and face for a fair bit.
Guys,
do it.
let's have a quick look then. So we are going to have Peke in mid lane. Do we see any weaknesses on CJ Entus' team? I mean, Vayne is going to be the big problem for Fnatic. The Sona might be a weakness against.
I'd say Insect's a big problem on
I would say Insect as well.
Entus.
Yeah,
I mean,
on the Lee Sin, yeah.
Vayne is gonna be really good against Syra and against Blitzcrank. But then it comes to Kha'Zix. Kha'Zix is probably in teamfight gonna try to focus that Vayne and shut Vayne down. And then we have like Syra is gonna try to control Singe. Because Singe is like going inside everyone and Syra is perfect for that. Syra can just eat you, ultimate you and stop that Singe. But still, we have to see how the laning phase is going. They have the teleport of TF, and last game we have to remember they had Sen to stop it and Katarina teleport, and now they have nothing, no teleports.
So very briefly, who do you think is going to win this one?
I want to see a third game, so I'm hoping that Fnatic is going to win this.
I'm a fan of Fnatic, but still I think CG Entus has better setup right now.
Wow, okay, we're split here, we are divided. Question is who will take it? Joe and Jason, take it away.
So here we go then, game number 2, CJ Entus versus Fnatic, and of course a 1-0 scoreline in this best of 3 in favor of the Korean side of CJ Entus. Jason, quickly before we get into this one, who are your favorites for game number 2?
Fnatic. They have a Blitzcrank. That to me just seals the deal as they are actually trying to go for invade here. What about you, Joe?
I really like the CJ lineup. I mean, Vayne...
Just because they have Singe, Joe.
Probably is because they have Singed. You know, Demon's man love for Kha'Zix can only be matched by my love for Singed, I think. That's pretty much how it goes. We are going to see a grab coming down onto Singe. He gets caught. Is he going to get rooted? Yes, he is knocked up here as well. And that is first blood. It goes on to Blitzcrank in the end. And then we were just talking about Blitzcrank and Singed. And that's what happened. Blitzcrank and Singed happened.
Forces flash out of Insect right there. And we did see him playing Lee Sin actually yesterday, playing an amazing Lee Sin. Really surprised they let him have it as pull. Just gonna miss a little bit there, but still the damage is done. They did get that first blood, obviously, over to the support. Not the ideal target, but you'll take the kill any day instead of missing it. But we do have Cyanide gonna be on Cho'Gath here. And we've actually seen a lot of his Cho'Gath, Joe, and I've been quite impressed over the past couple of weeks we've been casting them.
Well, he's like the best stealer, right? With the Nom, with Smite as well. And, well, Cyanide's probably one of the best stealers anyway in the world. It doesn't really matter who he's playing. He still somehow manages to steal them away. So we are seeing CJ here with Insect, obviously, in the jungle, starting off by the Wraiths to go to red buff. However, on the other hand, we've got Enrated and crew coming in here to try and steal this away. They're going to pull the red out of that backside. Pretty standard thing to do here when you've got that Blitzcrank in your team. There is the Smite down. Cyanide will be stealing away the red.
Good job, Redmond. Actually shut him down. They know how good Insect is at Lee Sin, but they obviously didn't ban it out because they knew how they wanted to counter it. Going to force him to go for his blue buff, actually. And Joe, in terms of how this game is going to go, which lane do you think is going to be the lane to watch? We do have Kha'Zix and Singe top, so I'm thinking you're probably going to go for that, but where do you expect all the action?
No, I think this bottom lane with Blitzcrank, honestly, like they're going to be trying to lock. I mean, Sona
is squishy.
It's so squishy at this level 1. I mean,
28 armor right now.
So if they can get a grab onto Kinch, then they are in a lot of trouble in this bottom lane. Obviously, Twisted Twisted Fate, once he hits that level 6 as well, will be getting involved into all that kind of stuff. Vayne, she needs to have that time to, you know, build up to where her strengths are, which are obviously going into that late mid game and into the late game as well. So they've got to stay very safe here, Space and Kinch. If they end up getting pulled, it could go very wrong very quickly for them.
Yeah, and we do have Reckless yet again. He's played Ezreal every game this entire tournament. I mean, he's very good at it, so why not? But yeah, I agree with you. Bot lane is definitely where it's going to be at with those Blitzcrank pulls, and it's really up to Kinch to actually, you know, play very, very passive and very defensive and not really get pulled. But still, top lane, I mean, Sin, she's one of those champions where he can just run around your team and just run circles around you. But so as, I mean, on Kha'Zix, you have that slow, or if you evolve your W and actually are unseen for a quick second. We do have Insect in the top lane coming in from the lane. And in the meantime, Sanai coming in as well. He will be spotted by a ward, though, in the top.
Enrated now finally back into the lane. He is still level 1 to the level 2 and almost 3, I guess. Yeah, almost 3 there for Sona. Well, he'll be catching up that one pretty quickly. Actually, Lee Sin was spotted by this ward here by the CJ blue buff. So Soaz knows that this Lee Sin could be sniffing around for some action, so shouldn't end up getting caught out by that one unless something goes terribly wrong. Could basically leave the player focus there on Enrated, I think, to see when his Q comes off cooldown, to see when he can get those grabs in. Meanwhile, at the top, we are seeing CJ have revealed that Insect is in fact up there, and so as his feelings were proven correct.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on the spot lane for you, Joe. Whenever you leave it, I'm looking at it right away. But yeah, I mean, early CS pretty even, as we do have in the mid lane, Xpeke with a nice little advantage there. It's 80 carries both tied up, and the thing about Zyra is you have. The thing with Zyra is you have really good range, so you're able to harass against this Twisted Fate's gold card, which if you can, you know, stop that, you're pretty much not going to take too much harass at all. It does have those 2 health pots and those boots, and we actually have a lot of magic resist on TF and Zyra, both at 42.
Oh, Cyanide coming in here around the back. Blue card has already been popped, so he's got no stun for this little bit of action. Forced to use the flash away there is Dade, and that will be nice. Summon a spell blown. And Cyanide, no doubt, will be coming back in towards this lane at some point in the near future. Let's see if he can land the Rupture here. And nicely dodged there by Dade. Will he dodge the root? That won't even come out from Xpeke. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Blitzcrank's grab is now off cooldown again. So we can go have a look down there, see if they're able to grab anyone out. That was close earlier on to grabbing Kinch, but not quite. Which is exactly what they need to do. They need to be killing this Sona off, basically, to get that farm in, get that feed in towards Reckless.
Oh, Insect trying to go for a gank on the mid lane. He hasn't really been too effective with his ganks. I mean, we saw him at the top, coming from lane. He ended up just pushing the lane out, as you see him do it again right here, trying to, you know, get a little bit of early levels. And I mean, Xpeke has no mana yet. He's still sitting in this lane. He's sitting on, well, almost 1,200 gold at the moment. Ezra's sitting on 1,200 as well. Vayne on 1,300. So when these carries do go back and buy, it should make this game quite a bit more interesting. We do have on the boots on Enrated, which is really important since he's able to you know, move extremely fast with that W. And his counterpart, Sona, no boots. It's making it that much more easy to get pulled. So he's going to have to go for that early boot instead of a GP10 just to stay alive and keep his 80 carry supported here.
Well, Enrated playing it fairly passive. I mean, it's not like he's throwing out a grab every time it comes off cooldown. Looking for that perfect opportunity to get involved in it. I mean, Reckless does have a slight level advantage here over Space. It looks like Enrated now going to go and try and, nope, not going for this side man. Well, in the end, he did, and was pretty much a mile off with that one. Meanwhile, we do have Soaz coming down from this top lane. Twisted Fate, of course, did blow that flash on the last encounter, and Soaz here waiting inside the brush. Dade going to get caught out. Is he? Soaz not going for it. He's waiting here for Cyanide to come down. There was the silence, but a little bit too late. Soaz underneath the tower can't really afford to stay there. If that stun card gets him in range, he knew that he had to back away from it. And a little bit slow to react there, I'd say, Soaz.
Yeah, in the top lane, we see Singe doing exactly what he likes to do. Just run past that turret, farm away. And that tower already taking some decent damage. And the thing is, they can't let him farm. And yet they can't really gank him that easily. I mean, he does have Ghost, doesn't have that flash, but it's a Singe. And Kha'Zix's obviously not going to have too much damage right off the bat. Oh, he's actually going to catch him. He is level 6. He's going in for it. Has that Ignite up.
Yeah, Ghost is going to go down. And Long Panda just going to run circles, as you do with the Singe. Actually will avoid the Rupture there from that one as well.
Fling up in one. He's going to go for it.
And here we go. He's not quite getting in for that one. Minions were gone. And that was an extra turret damage that just didn't want to take in that situation, but he's managed to get him low. Who was that, actually?
That was Dade. Just got very low right there. Speke was able to push him out with that ultimate I believe he did use. And still,
so
I mean...
Singe getting my focus all off here.
The thing is, he's not afraid of Soaz at all. He has his Ninja Tab. He has 86 armor. He has that Sapphire Crystal he's going to be building into potentially Rod of Ages. I believe we saw that yesterday as well. We do have Insect coming into this top lane right now, and this is going to be very bad for Soaz.
Yeah, he's got no mana as well here. That could be a bit of a problem for Soaz, who is going to see Insect coming in, who's going to keep straight back in towards his turret. Here comes Singe as well. Fling will go over. Ignite is already down. Long Panda going to get the shield from Lee Sin, which won't be enough to keep him alive. They stayed there just a little bit too long. Meanwhile, down in this bottom lane, Reckless ultimate not quite connecting onto space. That would have surely been a kill if that one would have gone down. Well, that will leave Fnatic 2-1 in the lead in the kills.
We do have Space. I mean, they're still being very aggressive. Space, actually, with no health, really overextending. Reckless, though, out of mana. And Joe, do you think we're going to see any early Oracles versus early Dragons at all in this game? Because, I mean, you have a Vayne, and if you can keep her, you know, a little bit fed early on, keep her just on par with the other AD carry, she's obviously going to snowball a lot harder than Reckless can on Ezreal.
Yeah, I think they're going to try and get involved and get rid of Space as much as they can. But, again, I mean... Cho'Gath, we've not seen all that much of him here coming into these lanes. I mean, yeah, he came into the middle a couple of times. They got boots of mobility only for now. Is behind by a good 20 CS. Or not quite 20 CS, but you get my point. So he wants to be spending a little bit more time now, I guess, in the jungle rather than coming in towards these lanes that little bit more.
Yeah, the thing is, I mean, at bot lane, if we do see a 4-man gank out of Xpeke and him, at the, they're going to completely dominate that lane. They have so much CC mixed in with the Grasping Roots and knockup from Zyra. You have the Rupture Silence out of Cyanide, and then you have the knockup and the pull from Enrated. And yet they haven't really grouped up for it. They do have a pink ward onto Dragon. You're seeing Dade right there, farm under that turret. And he's losing that lane quite hard, but then again, like you've been saying, he's been quite harassed by Cyanide.
Yeah, he's had Cyanide to worry about in that lane. We even saw Soaz obviously come down that little bit earlier on as well. But let's have a look at the CS and how it stands across the board. Top lane 67-60 in favor of Singe. Not really a surprise from that one, considering how things have gone in there. In the jungle, 55-42 in favor of Lee Sin. And in the middle lane, 91-72. That's a nice lead. And we are going to see, the stun coming down here onto Xpeke. And there is Lee Sin queuing in from the side. He's going to use his passive, which actually did connect there onto Dade, but just not enough damage to finish off that kill back. So nice move once again from CJ. And that's the thing, Lee Sin staying ahead in the jungle, plus making his presence really felt in the lanes.
Yeah, he really is. And we didn't see that much of that in game number 1 from him. It's still, I mean, he's on Lee Sin. That's his most comfortable champion. I mean, even you know it, Joe. When you play your champion you're comfortable with versus one that you're now, not so comfortable with, you feel more free, able to gank lanes. You know how to play them correctly. You do have a pull. Ooh, gonna get caught by that minion though. In space, actually, and Raider getting very low right now. Did go for that Heart of Gold as his first item. Just get a little bit more health. We just Singe in the top lane, pushing past that first turret. Might even go Magnet style, go into the base and farm away, even though he's not on Rengar.
Yeah, he's going to be destroying those waves coming out, making it harder even for Soaz. Everything going to go straight underneath his turret, as we do see Zyra coming in onto this top lane as well. Root going to land onto Long Padu, flings him the other way, and is going to try and escape this one. Oh, and the roots, the ultimate from Zyra not quite connecting. We've got the Twisted Fate ulti coming down. He's going to come down on towards Cyanide. Lee's in there as well. They're not going to get that kill. Long Panda should be able to escape from this one, but Zyra needs to be careful not to get too involved with that one, as the flash has even been used there by Lee Sin to get into that position, but that didn't quite work out for them. In the meantime, though, CJ Entus did take this bottom turret. Yeah, they did get that first turret of the game, and the other thing that we're seeing Singe do so far is when he stayed past that first turret, he forces attention into that lane. He forces Zyra to come up there, which we just saw. He forces Cyanide to come up there to kind of gank him and stop him, but he wasn't really punished there. He got away, and that puts Xpeke behind, that puts Cyanide behind, and ultimately the bot lane behind, because they won't have that support from the jungler. Do have what a move there from Insect. Actually will get rooted right underneath the turret. I think Peke just saved his life right there, as we are going to see him dive right in. Does pick up the kill. Will W out, but gets grabbed back in by the Blitzcrank there, who uses his ultimate to finish off the kill. That would be Blitzcrank with more kills than anyone else on the side for Fnatic. Yeah, that's not really what they wanted. Would have been a lot better for Cho'Gath to get that kill, but they've gotten the kill nonetheless, which will certainly make them happier in this situation, and he got double buffs from it as well. But now Enrated could be in trouble himself. The wild cards come in, the mana barrier just about keeping him alive.
This is not looking good for Fnatic. We just see that first turret drop at the bot lane, and now they're just starting to group up, starting to push their advantage. We do have an Oracle Elixir picked up on Cyanide right now. It's going to help him out a little bit. And in terms of items, Reckless going for that Infinity's Edge as his first item, which, I mean, we see him go Infinity's Edge more than Trinity Force all the time. And they want that upfront damage. They want to not be able to poke too much. They want to be able to take them head on in a really quick fight. Cyanide going to slightly pop this Oracle here and try to clear out any Dragon Wards, and there are currently none there.
Reckless in trouble here in the middle once again. Insect just forcing him away from that. He's actually going to land the Q as well, and he's dead. And that's what you just can't afford to let happen. I mean, this Lee Sin going into that mid game is going to be so very strong. We've already seen the micro abilities of Insect. He is damn slippery, as if not every Lee Sin is slippery, but he is obviously on the top of his game when it comes to playing that Lee Sin. And that will leave us with 18.9 to 16.4 thousand gold, 4 to 3 in the kills, but maybe even more crucially, 2 to 0 in the turrets. That top outer turret, the bottom outer turret, both down the middle. Outer turret is hovering around about half HP, but now Dragon is up. Or actually, it's the first Dragon in the game, so of course it's up. And Fnatic gonna get it started off, and CJ not in a position to do anything about it.
Yeah, a little bit of a risky move, but they did see Insect heading home, so we're fine with that.
And they got an Oracle there as well, so...
It does give him that vision, but you know, it's a twisted fate. If he sniffs something a little bit wrong, pop the ultimate and see where they are. But I mean, getting that first Dragon is gonna help him out quite a bit. They still need to push these lanes. They need to actually counter and get a couple of turrets here. But it's whether or not they feel confident enough to win in a head-on-head team fight. We do have space in the bot lane still. Just trying to farm away. 118, 125. He's keeping up, going for that Fan Entus as his first item. And we do see Dada yet again going for that Sheen. Oh, so close. And I know somewhere Demon is just like yelling right now because of how well Insect's doing on Lee Sin, since he hates him so much. And seeing Soaz unfortunately getting punished right there.
Now we've got Insect actually coming up on towards Soaz. In this top lane, you can see he's a level behind, but the damage from Insect is pretty intolerable, so he just takes that big golem away right in front of him. But he needs to get out. Blitzcrank and Zyra are both coming up. As he just put down one ward, he's actually got a couple more. And that's one thing that you'll see from pretty much all these good Lee Sin players is keeping a ward in the inventory just for those emergencies to dash away to. Singe now coming in there as well, and well, doing what Singe does best, 115 to 97 CS in this top lane. Meanwhile, in the middle, we are seeing Fnatic going for that middle turret. And when Reckless in there, they might get it. They actually will flash away from that one. Zyra ultimate was used out of XPK, but no, didn't quite catch the Twisted Fate and they wanted to, but they've taken down that middle outer turret, being the first one of the game for Fnatic. Yeah, that gold lead gain ever so shorter. We do kind of still in that top lane, just pushing away. And it's really, it has to be frustrating for Soaz. He's already far behind in terms of levels, in terms of items, and in terms of CS. We do have a 4-in push on the mid lane from CJ Entus, and the thing is, I mean, Singe can afford to do this, and CJ Entus has a good disengage. They have that Lee Sin kick, they have that crescendo, they have the stun card, they have even the condemn. So if Fnatic tried to get in on them, they would have to get that pull and kind of commit to that. And yet, the person they pull could have that flash up and get away. So next minion wave coming in. Ooh. Yeah.
Does not want to be losing that Oracle right now.
Don't want to be losing the Oracle, that's for sure. I'm wondering if they've got the power here with just 3 men to push this middle turret out. Obviously with the N-rated there, you've got to be really, really careful. Insect just wandering the whole time. They've seen his position here from this ward in the Tribush. Cyanide actually headed up to that top side, clearing out the wards as he goes. Let's see if Insect is going to get in there. No, he's just going to have a dance, as you do. So Peke actually managed to pull this CS nicely back now. 136 to 138 it is in that middle lane. However, he may be in trouble because Lee Sin's coming in. Q missed there by Insect. Actually will get rooted up and pulled back there by Blitzcrank. Knocked up underneath the tower. Zyra ultimate goes down in completely the wrong position, and now Insect going to try to escape this one. There's the arcane shifting from Reckless. He's going to get that kill, and that's the thing. When you're feeling confident with Lee Sin, as Singe also died at the top there. But that's the thing with Lee Sin. If you get overconfident with him, you could end up throwing away a lot of kills like that. Yeah, and that was an amazing pull out of N-rated. He actually caught him in that safeguard right there, so he didn't have that available. Forced to flash and actually Q over that wall. But with that top kill, it's going to help them get back in the game a little bit more. We do have that kill onto Cyanide, and it looks like they might even try to transition to the top lane because they could potentially get that turret down in time. Dade does have his ultimate up. And has he used it once this game? He used it once when they were chasing in the jungle, but that's it. He hasn't really ganked. And that's the thing. I mean, I'm not used to seeing Twisted Fates not gank top or bottom pretty much off, well, pretty much anytime their ultimate's off cooldown. And Fnatic here still hanging around this middle. Lee Sin and Singe going to come back in. Reckless is actually in the bottom lane, so maybe CJ will be thinking, okay, they're going to be 5 versus 4 here. Let's see if we can push any kind of advantage. But basically with N-rated, you almost guarantee a tower hit or 2 in there with that pull coming out. And here comes Soaz from the side. And do a fair chunk of damage to the CJ Entus push, and now Reckless is actually coming through. He's been chased in the jungle by Insect. Let's see if he can actually get on top of him. Wise move from Insect to turn around. In the meanwhile, we are going to see N-rated flipped out from behind the tower. There comes the crescendo. It's a good one as well. The knock-up though onto Kinj. He will somehow almost get away from that one. Ezreal ulti came in. There's a kill for Singed on towards Zyra. Well, Long Panda not very healthy either. Has to pop his ultimate to get away there. And so has not quite got the damage to finish off. And that will be Twisted Fate. Where's he coming? Where is Twisted Fate coming in? Lee Sin is getting involved. Twisted Fate comes in. Cyanide going to go down. Dade going very, very low, but survives crucially. And that's a double kill for Vayne. That's what he's been looking for to really step ahead in this one. Got that Phantom Dancer already finished off. Middle outer turret down for CJ Entus. And they're going to be maybe looking for this inner turret. They need to be careful with Reckless there. Certainly Twisted Fate can't afford to get involved. And he is actually just going to back off from that one. And that will leave us at 7-7. Tied in kills, still 3-1 in towers, though, in favor of CJ Entus. And around about 1,300 gold lead for them as well.
Great job by Long Panda in that fight. Actually just stood in front of N-rated the entire time. So if they did pull him in, hey, you're going to get flipped right back out, which is exactly what happened to him. And they came out ahead in that fight, picked up that mid turret. So they have the tier 1 turrets down currently. We do have items being built up. The Zonia's done for Twisted Fate. We have another BF sword picked up for, well, the first BF sword picked up for Space. And the Glacial Shroud done for Singe. So any attack damage you do to him, Zyra's very bursty. He doesn't have too much sustain, but the plants is always that saving grace in that sense. With Infinity's Edge done for Ezreal. And Kha'Zix, I mean, he's 2-1-2. Nothing really impressive, but then again, he's against a Singe, and it seems to be he's getting completely countered in that top lane, as we saw. And we do have Dragon coming up very shortly. And CJ Entus is going to take this away from Fnatic, and we'll be able to even up 1-1 in Dragons.
Yeah, got the... Well, I was just about to say got their timings down for this one, as it does finally spawn in there. Fnatic headed down as well. Ward put down by Cyanide. Insect going to come in. Actually, will land the Q here onto Xpeke, but he's in a dangerous position there. Team not really reacting. And Rated coming around the side as the Dragon did reset itself there slightly, but they're still going in. It's going to be taken out by Sona. Insect, though, is going to die. There's a Zyra ulti, get 3 of them. Ezreal ulti comes in as well. Here comes Soaz, gets the reset, jumps in. Condemn not going to be enough to save him. And Soaz jumps over into the Dragon Pit. And Twisted Fate just about ulted himself away from that. But that's 4 kills for nothing. Look at Fnatic. They hardly lost any health. And again, Insect was in the middle of the Fnatic team. None of his team could react to it fast enough. And Fnatic now are headed north for a Baron, possibly. Yeah, Senna does have that word, fended off. We don't have the TF ultimate up anymore, but that was an amazing Zyra ultimate out of Xpeke. That set that fight up completely and won him that. And this should actually be Baron. We did see Dragon go over to Sona, so it went over to CJ Entus. Sona wasn't able to steal it away. Still has that feast up right now. We have Twisted Fate. We're going to try poking them down here, trying to keep them off of this Baron. Doing some decent damage, but Baron's still dropping very quickly down to that 2,000 health mark. And they get the pull. Yeah, pulled in and dead, surprisingly enough. Baron here is going to get finished off. Nom down there by Cyanide to finish off. And Fnatic taking a Baron. And you can see that how that's just set them far ahead now. I mean, it's not a massive lead, but compared to what it was before, they were hanging around about 1,500 to 2,000 gold behind. Insect actually coming in here again. He's going to get pulled, going to get knocked up. And it's just a CC train on him. And he's just died again for, like, nothing. Yeah, that was a little bit of a misplay there. I mean, you wanted to make something really good happen for his team, try to pick up a kill or two, but not at the cost of your own death. They just have so much CC. You have, like I was saying before, you have the knock-up out of Blitzcrank, knock-up out of Cyanide. It's you can't do anything in that moment. And it's working out very well for them. We do have the things in Holy Grail done for Zyra. Pick up a Nisi large rod. And this is it's the second time Fnatic's had the lead since they did get first blood. But they've been down for a good portion of the game, and I bet they have to feel really good after that last Dragon and after picking up that Baron. We do have Frozen Heart finished up on Singe. Up a couple more wards, and I mean, look at CJ Entus' lineup in terms of items. They have wards on everyone except well, Scumbag TF. That's about it. Yeah. I think his ulti's kind of like a ward. The thing is, they've not had an Oracle, right? Like,
no,
the entire game. Unless I missed one there, but
they have not.
I'm almost positive. Yeah, about that one. So they've got to have more wards. It's that simple. If they're not going to have an Oracle in there, they've just got to ward en masse and hope that Cyanide doesn't just get them all, doesn't take every single one of them out. I mean, he's doing a fantastic job. Up till now, you can see him there, just going about his way, picking up every single ward that he can. There's a pink ward for him around the Baron area as well. But Fnatic now, with a 2,500 gold lead, what is their next move? Ward's going into that bottom side of the CJ Entus jungle. And they do have a pink ward, but it's one pink ward, which you can never compare to the power of an Oracle.
Yeah, I mean, all they're really trying to do is just ward up their own jungle, prevent Fnatic from invading them and picking them off one by one with a, a nice pull out of Enrated. But still, I mean, they're forced to play defensive. They're still doing very well, in my opinion. We do have Insect pushing out that bottom lane, yet Fnatic still pushing down mid. Soaz coming down from that top lane. Looks like they might try to go for a turret here. As we have Reckless, he's kind of bouncing in between right now. He has to stop this push out of Insect as he's just trying to draw someone over there since he is quite fed, that 3, 5, and 2. And I don't think he can take Reckless on head-to-head anymore, though. As long as he dodges that slow, should be completely fine, and that will be... Oh, should be a turret coming up.
Yeah, Soaz coming in. There was the pull on. It was already gone down before the crescendo come in. They actually flip Enrated back out there. This is going to be another kill coming down. Twisted Fate will pull that one. Well, that's a 1-for-1 here, but Twisted Fate going to ulti himself in there. They've caught Peke out. He gets flung behind. Vayne will actually finish off the kill. Can they take down Soaz as well? Tumble in. Soaz is going to jump away, but Lee Sin not finished. Oh, great flash from Soaz to avoid the Q from Insect. And that's a nice little turnaround again for CJ Entus, and this turret stayed alive.
Yeah, both teams, I mean, you make one mistake and either team will take advantage of that with that Singe flip is pretty much set up the entire fight. That was an amazing pull of Enrated as he got crescendoed, but still a 1-for-2 against a Baroned up team. Very good for CJ Entus as they will be able to take this red buff away. And still, I mean, we saw Dottie right there. It's a really ballsy move. He ulted into the middle of 3 of them and they turned around and like, okay, we're gonna kill you when you get here. But as he came in and popped that gold card onto someone, he popped his Zonias, and because of that, they just kind of were standing there with their, well, looking like a chick with its head cut off. It's an American saying, Joe. It's America.
Very American. So, let's have a look at the gold again. Almost 2,000, the lead still for Fnatic, 14-9. But this Vayne, you saw how much damage she does in that last fight.
Yeah, but Vayne.
But Vayne, yeah, and the longer this goes on, the better that Vayne's going to become. I mean, Phantom Dancer in there, Infinity Edge is being worked up to, and let's have a look how much gold, actually, 850 gold, so not quite got enough to finish that one off, but it's certainly not going to be long until this Vayne is able to have that one. Twisted Fate got the Zhonya's Hourglass Machine and that Blasting Wand. On the other side, though, you've got a Bloodthirster now for Kha'Zix with that Brutalizer and Phage. Cho'Gath with the Aegis. And in the middle lane, you've got Zyra, who's got that Fiend's Unholy Grail, plus a Blasting Wand and a needlessly large rod to move up towards that death cap. Ezreal, on the other hand, Phantom Dancer Infinity Edge is already complete for Reckless, but if you compare Vayne and Ezreal, Phantom Dancer with Infinity Edge, Vayne wins that every day.
Yeah, definitely true. And Joe, I mean, I was thinking about that push we just saw Fnatic, and don't you think that was a little weird? I mean, they could have went for the tier 1 turrets on top or at bottom and picked up a little bit of extra gold just to keep them, a little bit farther ahead, but they went for the tier 2 turret and they ended up losing that fight. You think that's a little bit of a misplay? It might come back to bite him?
Oh, Twisted Fate, where's he going? And he's going to go in towards Zyra. Here we go. Zyra ulti does go down, but you're not surviving this one today, PK. Actually, good damage onto Insect. He's going to W out to a ward. He will end up going down at some point. Actually went in there. Dade actually just popping his Zhonya's Hourglass, and that one was certainly not worthy. That's 2 kills given over to Fnatic as they take down the Zyra. Dragon is up, and CJ Entus can't afford to fight for it, and maybe they're not even finished yet. Well, Singe Poison says otherwise.
Yeah, this Dragon definitely going to help them. This gold lead, it's, even though they took that Baron and took that 4-kill team fight, they still aren't that far ahead. They should be able to lock this down, and they do get it, so that's the second one of the game for them. And the items are just starting to get to that point where you can, I mean, you can burst someone down, especially for Fnatic. They have the ability to now with these items. We have the, the Bloodthirster done on Soaz, and Ezra, like you're saying before, that Infinity's Edge Fnatic answer can't be Vayne 1-on-1, but he can burst someone down very quickly if they need to. And oh man, I'm just trying to hold them off here, and they're scared of that. I mean, they don't want to get flinged in because you could get flung into a Condemn and a Crescendo.
Oh, they're going to go in here for N-rated. Actually, gets the knock up there, Long Panda. Will get slowed a little bit, but he's singed, so he's going to keep going. Throws the slow out there. Actually will get knocked up, but there's a fling back coming around. Here comes the crescendo though. Soaz going to try and stick to Vayne, but you see the damage coming out there. Ultimate pop. Vayne has to flash away. Here comes the Zyra ulti. It's not going to catch anyone just yet. CJ finished with this fight. The plant's doing good damage as well. That will slow CJ down. The root will land onto Lee Sin as well. And that was a 1-for-1. Singed dying for N-Rated.
And Rated, though, he's built towards a Frozen Heart, actually, which is kind of surprising considering you never see supports go that far into an item, but it allows Cho'Gath to go for a random
he's
instead.
5 kills, so...
Yeah, that's true. He got shut down earlier from that as well. But it allows Cho'Gath to go for that randoms, get that extra tax reduction. Cyanide going to be in trouble here, though. He might get closed in on, and he will be sandwiched.
Yeah, they are going to push in. Lee Sin going to kick him straight back to the rest of the team. Stun card goes down, and there is the kill. Ezreal ultimate, not quite enough to do anything about that one. But will they be able to take a turret here, CJ? Actually, N-Rated just getting forced away, but you can see with that W pops, he's going to pull space in there. The root will land, and that's another kill for N-Rated. Turns out, guys, that Zyra was a support after all. oh, good flash away from Dade. Now, but N-Rater's just chasing in there. They're going to grab Dade, max range. He's going to pop his Zhonya's. That's not going to do anything to keep him alive. It just delays the fight that Soaz will pick up another kill there for Fnatic. And they are going to steamroll through this bottom lane and get as far as they can. Ooh, Insect just spotted their portaling away.
That's what I was saying, Joe, in the beginning of the game. I mean, you have a team with Blitzcrank, anything can happen. We do have Longkinder, though, pushing the mid lane in the meantime. We won't be able to get this turret as we do have Sunnet approaching it, but we still have that 4-man push on the bottom lane here. And the pull, 2 for 3, not bad, you know, to open up the fight, but still, it should be able to get this turret as well. Especially with Reckless with that fan dance. So willing to tap last switch for next, and Soaz just gonna man mode over that wall with that jump.
And look at N-Rated, 636 on Blitzcrank. Yeah, as I said, turns out that Zyra really was the support.
Yeah.
With 14 assists, the 1 kill and 5 deaths up to now.
That goal difference is really starting to stretch right now.
Yeah, 46 to 40. There is Cyanide in the middle. What's the next move here? Because Baron is now up and available. Will Fnatic want to force a fight here? I mean, to be honest, they've done a cracking job of getting onto Vayne and stopping her really having that much free time to do anything. And if they do that here, I'm sure that they will go for a fight as we see another pull coming down there on towards Insect. Soaz not quite able to finish him off. There comes the slow out of Singed, and that will stop them chasing at least for now. But with doing that damage onto Lee Sin, it'll be forced to back off, and will Fnatic take that as a signal to go for Baron?
Well, one thing that Fnatic has really in their favor, besides the kills, besides the gold, is the items. We have that random. It's finally done for Cho'Gath. The Frozen Heart finished up for N-Rated. That's going to shut Vayne down extremely hard.
Yeah.
Then again, I mean, we saw in one fight where Soaz jumped on Vayne, almost died instantly just from her damage alone. So they have to be very careful on how they initiate, and they have to make sure to not pull along Panda. Well, N-Rated very spot on with his pulls this entire game. Oh, it's actually, he was going to go for a pull there, but it's like, oh, Singe, never mind.
Here we go then, Twisted Fate ulti is going to get popped. A flip over there from Singed, but he's going to get knocked up, is he? No, not quite. N-Rated looking for a better target from this one. The grab won't quite work out either. And, well, they all walk away from that one pretty much scot-free. Well, Fnatic now going to be pushing down this middle. They want this inner tower. They certainly have the power to tank it up as well as they get a ward down in that brush to see any counter push coming around from CJ. Tower is down, and Fnatic going to back straight out.
Oh, Davista coming in from... Oh, I thought he was going to go and try to kick him back, but instead, instead of going for that dive 1v4 against a Baron at Fnatic, this time backing out instead. But still, I mean, that was a great play of Fnatic. They saw that CJ Entus was out of position, wasn't able to defend that turret, pushed on it, got it, and we should have a lot of gold. Yeah, 1,600 gold on Reckless right now to spend. We do have Soaz with 1,900 gold to spend, so Fnatic going to come back even stronger here. And just like you were saying before, will we see them go for Baron? Most likely now with these items completed.
Singed actually just headed up towards this top lane. Get that extra bit of farm. It's actually ridiculously close between him and Soaz still. 207 to 208 with that one.
And Soaz was losing the lane in terms of CS the entire game,
exactly.
So definitely caught up right there. Mid lane though, that's quite a
also 419. Yeah, 260 to 214. Nice advantage for Xpeke, which you can now. If you look at the gold between over 10,000 for both, 10,800 to 10,100. So even though that CS difference is there, it's still a fairly close gold total between those two AP carries.
Yeah, very true. We do have... Oh, the teams are starting to group up a little bit. We do have another Oracle, third of the game. Actually, that might even be fourth of the game for Cyanide, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it is. But he's investing a lot of money on these Oracles. Doesn't have really any items to say for it. I mean, he has the random ones, has an Aegis boost ability. That's about it. He's still very squishy in terms of magic damage. But then again, you have Dottie, who doesn't do a lot of consistent damage. In Long Pond as well, they just do a lot of... well, Long Pond does a lot of sustain, and Dottie is more about bursting. And yet, he doesn't have his Death Cap yet, which he's really going to need to take out Cyanide. With this beefy lineup they have between Unrated and Cho'Gath, it's really hard for CJ Entus to kill anyone, but we do see them going in here.
Oh, Unrated is going to get flipped over, but Singe absolutely destroyed. There's a crescendo from the side. They're going to try and switch this over, getting on towards Kinchu. Not going to get away there from Reckless. They managed to get in on towards Insect. The the Zyra ultimate didn't actually connect, but Reckless is not finished off just yet. Where's Twisted Fate going? He actually just popped his ulti to give them that full vision there in the jungle. And Lee Sin will escape, but Fnatic going to take that as a signal to push straight through here. Daddy taking big damage from Soaz as well. They managed to get the knock-up onto Space. He's forced to flash away. It's the inhibitor turret now going to be pressured down. The grab not landing, but they forced Daddy to actually use his Zhonya's there. They take down Enraged Insect, coming back into the fight as well. Well, that turret will finally fall. Will they have the inhibitor as well? I don't see CJ being able to stop them taking that one. And that is inhibitor picked off for Fnatic. That puts them 5-3 ahead in the towers now. And the gold is actually going up to pretty much 10k. It's headed in that general direction. Insect is actually going up towards the top lane to get a bit more farm.
As you do.
Every little helps, as they say.
I do have that last whisper done for Reckless now, and he's, I mean, we talked about Ginra 1 having a really iffy score, but now 7-1-9, seen him play the way he usually does. And we have the Banshee's Veil actually being done for Long Panda, not going for that Rod of Ages. And we could very well see this Baron come up very shortly since, you know, have that mid inhibitor down, forces the super minions in, forces CJ Entus to make a move here. And sorry, I was actually just checking Kish, just dying really quickly there to Baron.
Oh, Insect is once again out of position completely. We are going to see Long Panda now taking a lot of damage as well. Can they follow over? So I was going to jump in there, not quite getting the slowdown onto Singed. He'll actually use his Ghost and his ultimate in that one to try and escape. Which, granted, he did. But again, they've lost too many. They've lost the support. Maybe even more importantly, they've lost the ability to smite now over by the Baron, which has been started off by Fnatic.
Yeah, and not to mention they lost the crescendo, which is a really huge factor with them in these team fights. Backpack just trying to zone them here. Long Panda getting very low. They will pick up that Baron though. And will they be able to chase it here to see the SLT coming in? And it does get him. And Reckless goes legendary.
And Dade just teleports out there, using that ultimate to get himself away. But that's another Baron to Fnatic, and that will push us to that 10,000 gold difference now. 24-13 in kills as well. Fnatic in a commanding position as Vayne just taking this red buff away. Didn't realize, I think, that Enrated and Reckless were there. And Space just going to be hitting the recall. And Fnatic push these super minions through once again. In the meantime, obviously, they are pushing this top lane out. Gonna have both turrets from that. And may well just an inhibitor as well.
Yeah, with Long Panda down, no reason not to. So Enrated waiting over that while trying to get a nice pull here. No, CJ just go play passive. There's no reason for them to, you know, lose another member or two.
Nope, Lee Sin forced to kick Soaz away there. And Enrated just chasing down, not quite got the distance on that pull to pick one up, but that's two inhibitors down.
Look at the gold Fnatic sitting on.
So strong. Yeah, 3,600 Zyra, everyone over 1,000. Most of them around 2,000 gold here. So this next spike of damage and survivability that Fnatic throw into the mix is just going to be too much to handle. Yeah,
there's a GA on Kha'Zix. See Shredder's done on Blitzcrank. We should see a Zhonya's on Expected as a, you know, go back, hey, let's get Dragon 2. Let's get a little bit extra gold as he gets up to 3,800 now. And Reckless sitting on 2,000, so you could see that GA come out shortly, or we could even go for that Triforce, get that much more damage. You sit on that phase just to try to get that slow onto Singe or onto any other target. Actually, he goes for Frozen Mallet instead, Joe.
Frozen Mallet. Wants that health in there as well. I mean, the slow's always going to be good for him, that's for sure. And he's been chasing so often so far in this game, so it makes sense. Zhonya's was finished there for Zyra. We saw a second GA being picked up with Cho'Gath, and They are just a mile ahead now in these items.
Yeah, considering how close it was the entire game, they've done an amazing job, and that's pretty much all due to N-Rated with these polls. He's been opening up these team fights, allowing them to take the lead that they currently have. And I mean, looking at this right now, Joe, I don't think CJ Entus can really come back from this. You're against a Baron Up Fnatic, not to mention down over 10,000 gold. And we might even see this game number 3 that everyone seems to be waiting for.
Well, I certainly am, that's for sure. So I was going to dive in. Eon's down here, then knockup comes down. Where's the Nomad? He's going to die from this one, a horrible death. Actually, Cyanide saved the Nom for that one. Knew that they had enough damage, didn't need to use it there. As this third and final inhibitor turret is going to go down. The inhibitor will follow straight away afterwards as well. And this is going to be the last fight of the game. Minion pulled, not quite getting in, on towards Long Panda. And Fnatic just a step away from winning this game. Again, Insect caught out of position, tried to kick Peke into the rest of the team, but just didn't work out. There is Long Panda grabbed out, will flip him over the top of his head, but the damage is too high. And here comes the Zyra ulti as well. Space gets his GA popped.
It's a lot of people standing on him.
Oh, not quite dead, but there's a pull again from Enrated, right out from the fountain. The Nexus turrets are down, the Nexus goes down, and Fnatic gonna level us back up in this best of 3, 1-1 after a very, very solid play. And you can see, no smiles just yet. They've only leveled this game up. They need to stay concentrated.
Yeah, they still have one more game to win, but they kept their tournament hope alive. And they could potentially, well, either team going to be going to the finals right after this, and N-Rated's got to be feeling good. Look at him. I mean, I'm surprised to not see a smile on his face, because you know he pretty much carried that game with all those pulls he had on him. But Reckless, though, 9-1-12 at the end. And now Fnatic, I mean, I heard them talking after the last game, trying to discuss, you know, what went wrong, what went right. And they have to, well, clearly, we're talking about something right there, Joe.
Yeah, I posted on Twitter about it, actually. They had a big discussion in that halftime. Oh, third time, I guess we could call it, since we're going into that third map, about what was going wrong for them there, what they need to do in this next game. And you can see, as I said, no smiles just yet. They know that they still have a job to do, and that CJ Entus, as they proved in game number 1, certainly have the ability to take a team like Fnatic out of this tournament. But either way, quickly looking down the scoreboard there, Blitzcrank, N-rated, 6-4-11. Got a lot of kills in there, which, you know, in the end, really helped the team out. They managed to get that frozen heart, which, how often do you see that on a support Blitzcrank by the end of it? That's how much he actually had. 10,500 gold he had by the end, which is more than Lee Sin had, it's more than Singed had, and it's more than Sona had, obviously, on the other side. So a big gold difference that adds that big crucial item in. Either way, we're going to give it over to the expert desk, and they're going to break down game number 2.
Beep boop. So we said we're gonna do the Cathix phase, but instead of that,
well,
Cathix clause.
How could you not have the beep boop after N-Rated puts on a show reel for us there? Fantastic stuff. Kha'Zix as well, got a huge score. Honestly, he just snuck in there, though, Soaz, didn't he? Just snuck that score up. So we've got a ton of highlight reels for you in that game. Crazy, crazy fights. We're going to go straight in there, so let's get the action going on. It started out, it was around about 11 minutes 15, and really this was the beginning of the chase of Long Panda. They couldn't catch him.
Yeah, they couldn't catch Long Panda, and instead of that, everyone won there. We see TF stopping Cho'Gath, and then we see a flash. I think it was a flash from Listen, who missed that Q.
I mean, it leads on. It carries on going through. This is all building up. You saw the hit points going down. You can see that Peke already was taken low. Peke comes back to the mid lane, and well, Insect strikes. You can see he's just slowly been drawn down.
Really nice kill from. He was harassing TF, followed with the ultimate, and now again we see N-rated hook.
A flash hook as well.
How many hooks did he land today and rated?
I mean so many.
It was impressive.
And there's another hook where you can actually, well, we might as well find it, show it. 15-10, I wasn't going to highlight it, but we may as well show it because there's just so many hooks and rated setup. Blitzcrank carry is what it was. And this is just further down. This is where Dade, they're pushing the mid turret and he just catches out Dade. He got away from it that time, though.
Flash is down. And 16, now it comes my favorite one.
1640. This is your favorite wrong. And again, another flash hook.
Exactly. It was really beautiful. Listen when diving to Zyra, but here comes N-rated flashing, hooking, and just killing Listen on the tower. And we can see in the top lane, We see on the top lane, he was dying Listen, and meanwhile, in the top lane, we can see Sins getting killed by Kha'Zix and Cho'Gath.
I'd also notice that's really the start for Reckless. That was his first kill of the game. And that was an important kill because that's really what got the ball rolling for him, as we just saw the mention of how he set up and how at the end of the game he just had so many kills and very little deaths. 18-10, the next one's the siege on the mid turret. CJ Entus on the comeback again. CJ Entus were very strong at this point.
He missed. He's probably the only hook he missed. Oh, it was perfect Sona ultimate here. They follow on a kill on Sona, really beautiful by Reckless ultimate, but still. CG Entus did really nice team fight, and something I didn't like at all was Insect.
He's come sneaking on the side.
He was playing perfectly early game, but then he was just diving and trying to do the big plays. At this case, he did nothing, just dying there, while his team was killing Blitzcrank and Cho'Gath, but he was dive without a reason. So he started pretty good, Insect, but only not that good. I think mainly his item choice wasn't the best. It was the best for the early game. He had Mobility Boots and Brutalizer. That's fully items for early game. If you see jungler like Diamond Procs, they always run on Lantern, on probably Mercury Threads or Tabby Ninja, not Mobility Boots and Brutalizer. That's something strange, and it's something like to win the early game.
So something we talked about is that maybe he was feeling a little bit too confident after that Olaf game, after that game before.
Yes.
And like you said, sometimes you just get that strong feeling that you just want to bring the plays.
Yes.
Do we have more replays?
Oh, we have a lot more replays, Daniel. 20 minutes is the next one. This is really, I mean, CJ Entus was so strong at this point. They were feeling confident. They went for the dragon fight, but this is where Fnatic came back. They got the kills on this fight.
It was really lucky that Sanity flashed to try to feast it, but at that moment, Insect smited and Sona Q the Drake, and Sona got the Drake. Lucky there. We see Sanity is flashing and trying to feast, but Sona get the Drake, and now it's all the kills for Fnatic. I think it was a 4 for 1, right? 4 for 0.
Yeah, 4 for 0.
Just jump away. Okay.
And he
4
just
kills,
has to use his
0
ulti.
for CG Entus, but they got the Drake. Skin them, not worth it at all, but almost.
And more importantly, they got a ward at the end there as well. But we like to point them out. But 21-20 was the next one, and it's another great hook from N-Rated. Constantly hook after hook.
21-20.
And it really, this time, it's the kill on Insect.
Yes, I remember that one.
And they just got the Baron here, so they just had this was basically straight after that dragon fight. They went straight up, got the Baron, and here's Insect. He's going. He sees they're all low, and he thinks, right, I can get some kills here. It's a little bit of cocky play though. You're against 5 members.
Yeah. And we can see Insect is trying to do it again. The place, and Blitzcrank grab him to the tower. Not even to the tower, but still with Cho'Gath CC, with Cho'Gath Silent, with Syra damage and Ethereal damage, he get like instantly burst down. That was again, as Demon said, a cocky action that he tried to get something, but he just died for anything.
Absolutely. So 26-05 is the next one. It's a straight 2 for 1. Pekka getting caught out, and Fnatic react just so quickly, and immediately was straight into the action. And they got a dragon off the back of it as well.
And maybe
they thought it was a good action going through for Pekka. They killed Pekka really fast, but now what are you going to do? You are on Fnatic land, and you're gonna like die instantly, and that was happened. Even with the Thonias, it saved from the hook, still wasn't enough, and he just get crushed.
And that led straight to the dragon. You can see they've obviously got the advantage. They went straight down the dragon, no problem. N-Rated at this point. Starting to pull the farm back. Obviously at the start, when we should talk about, oh no!
That's it.
We've got a bug splat. We only had one more to go, but it was another great hook as well. And we managed to get a few in there, but wow. I mean, it was just all about the hooks. Reckless really just managed to, he got bullied at the start, pulled his way back into it. Soaz bullied at the start, pulled his way back into it. Ended up about 7-1-10, I think, or something like that, in the top lane as Kha'Zix.
For me, the main point I can say from this game is CG Entus ban Blitzcrank.
That's probably what they're going to do as well.
I mean, we mentioned it during the match. We were talking about it ourselves, and you said it, Daniel. As the team captain, as I guess Peke, would you go and ban Lee Sin now?
I would never buy a Lee Sin if I have Soaz and Sanity. I mean, why ban Lee Sin? Just first pick. With those two guys, they can pick every.
Well, yeah, obviously you're first picking because you're the blue side now. You just go straight for that first pick.
You don't really need to first pick Lee Sin if they let open like Blitzcrank or something like that. I mean, wow, this last game for me and Raider just carried the game along.
Absolutely.
It was amazing. Also, so
and it's great to see that. It's great to see a support carrying the game like that. I mean, he hasn't been mentioned in the MVP title lineup, but honestly, that game would put him right up there. Definitely of that match, he was MVP by a long way. And maybe immediately forcing a ban for CJ Entus in the next match.
And at one point we actually saw the items. The items were almost identical between Sona and Blitzcrank. Just that Blitzcrank had a frozen heart.
A frozen heart.
Just a frozen heart.
Just a frozen heart. Yeah, he was like 6-3-6 at one point.
Yeah.
He was. It's not that bad of a deal when you Blitzcrank's picking up the kills. At the end of the day, he's using his ulti just to try and silence you. Maybe, just maybe, he'll accidentally pick up a kill or two.
I actually also want to say that Insec on the game with Olaf, he started extremely good. I think he had the same farm as the lanes. I mean, I remember a point Olaf had 200 farm and the top and mid was like 220 farm. Yeah. But at this game, it wasn't the same. At this game was Lee Sin 100 and the rest of the lanes was like 200. So I think like the game with Olaf was extremely good by Insect, but this game he tried to carry on the game with the Brutalize and Mobility Boots, but it didn't work that well.
It didn't work that well, and currently CJ Entus aren't in the game lobby quite yet, so
we're going to have a small break, but yeah, I mean, CJ Entus now 1-1, the momentum with Fnatic possibly, do we think here? I mean, how do you always deal with this one? I know obviously you guys, when you were in SK, it was all about the momentum, all about the building up the hype for yourselves. Would you feel it's with Fnatic now?
Yeah, I mean, Fnatic has his chance to win. Fnatic know how to counter now CJ Entus after the first game, so I will say they have a lot of chances to win this game right now.
So we are at the Intel Extreme Masters. It is 1-1, Fnatic versus CJ Entus. $50,000 on the line and a place in the final up for grabs between the two teams. We're going to have the third match after this short break.